What are you most confident in? What are you most concerned about when it comes to the three teams still alive from the state of North Carolina in the ACC in the Sweet 16? That being Duke, UNC, and NC State. We should probably do them in order of game time, right? Just to eliminate all.
What you mean, Carolina?
Why'd you do them first? So Carolina will go first.
Carolina first.
What am I most concerned about for Carolina? Because we always do bad news first, right? Good news and bad news. You always say, give me the bad news first. I'm calling them the others, but that's only because I don't have a more complimentary name for them. The others sounds derogatory. I think there's a big three on North Carolina. It's R.J. Davis, it's Armando Bacot, and it's Harrison Ingram. My concern is the consistency of the others. We've seen Cormac Ryan in the ACC championship not get the volume of shots that he's used to getting off and not have the volume scoring that he had over the previous 6 weeks going. We've seen Cadeau struggle to score the basketball and struggle to be effective and actually get taken out of some games. So Withers and Washington and all of these, the bench players, Trimble, they come and go. And I think, obviously, I'm not breaking news here, you need a full team effort to win at this point in the tournament. So while I'm pretty confident in the big three, the others have me a little bit concerned. Dennis, what are you concerned about for the Tar Heels?
My concern is that the scout is out on Elliot Cadeau right now. Let that guy shoot from the outside. Simple as that. You notice they're sloughing all the way down to the free throw line.
Earlier this week.
They're sloughing down to the free throw line. Hey, shoot from out there. So that right there, basically you have when you have your starting five out there on the floor, you only have three true outside shooting threats: Davis, Ryan, and Ingram. Bacot's not an outside shooter.
Bacot hit 2 threes on senior day.
We'll go with that. But nonetheless, the outside threat just isn't there from Elliot Cadeau. So I'm wondering if teams, if you're going to try and run pick and roll with Cadeau, if you're in a half court set, you're not going to really blitz him. You're just going to drop off. Simple as that.
When there's an obvious way to play you, it allows the defense to take a mental break, right? They don't have to make a decision when they're guarding Cadeau. It's sag off, which makes things easier. My confidence for UNC is I don't know what the best way to say this is. I have no panic written in my as my confidence. Their ability to stay calm when I think other teams would panic or be inclined to change, right? If there's something to be said for it, and we talked with Mike Glennon, who hosts the football edition of Pack Therapy podcast with me recently, and it came up, he had a comeback where they were down 30 at halftime to Maryland, and then State came back and he was the quarterback. And he was like, at halftime, the message was, we're just beating ourselves, and they made some big plays. Don't change anything, just do it better. I don't know if there's a better team in the country than UNC basketball at that. You know what, we're down 5, but they hit some shots that they probably won't, and we did some really dumb things. Don't do anything different, just do it better. And then they come out and they do exactly that and play it well. And so I'm confident in their lack of panic, which, again, I understand is probably not the best way to describe that, but I think you get my gist.
Yeah, being calm. Being stoic, I guess you could say.
Stoic is the right. Poise might be the way to do it.
For me, this actually kind of this team reminds me, in a sense, of the 2017 team, is that on any given night, someone can step up and be the guy. That's the confidence I have when it comes to Carolina, is because the 2017 team that won the national championship wasn't their most talented team. I would even say that this iteration right now of Carolina basketball, as talented as they are, isn't their most talented team that they've had. But on any given day, we've seen Cormac Ryan be the guy. We've seen Harrison Ingram be the guy. We've seen Jalen Withers be the guy. We've seen, obviously, Bacot and Davis be the guy when needed. We even seen Cadeau at moments and stretches be the guy. Even defensively, and in at key spots, we've seen Seth Trimble step up and be that guy for moments as well. That's the thing about this Carolina team, is that, they have the big three that you had mentioned, but on any given night on this team, any one of those guys can step up and be that dude for them.
And in just an added layer, the big three is not selfish when that happens.
Exactly.
When Cormac Ryan has it going in Cameron Indoor, you didn't see R.J. Davis going, okay, you hit 4 threes, now let me get mine. It was like, no, you're open in the corner, buddy, you're hot. Keep shooting.
Yeah, keep feeding it.
So there you go. That's UNC. Next up on the chronological timeline is NC State. I'm going to say both of mine at the same time because they're paired.
Okay.
What am I concerned and what am I confident about when it comes to NC State? I am concerned about DJ Burns on defense. I am confident about DJ Burns on offense.
Okay.
And I say it. I've made this point a few times. DJ Burns is not sneaking up on anybody. I've really enjoyed the nation getting to see DJ Burns in the way we've been watching him all season and at times last season, which is he's fun to watch, he's likable, he has unbelievable touch, you think he's going to be all power, then he hits you with some finesse, and it's very, very fun. We're probably never going to get to experience that again. Mm-hmm. We're never going to get to watch somebody learn about DJ Burns again because the entire nation knows. And what they know is he's really difficult to stop on offense. So I believe the counter, and Shaka Smart may come up with this from Marquette or whoever they play next may come up with it, is to make him work on defense, right? And that is either foul trouble or making him guard the perimeter or driving into his chest. Just make him work on defense, which is, for as good as his offense is, his defense leaves some things to be desired. So my concern is that a team figures out a way to really take advantage of him on the defensive side. My confidence is everything I just said about his offense. He's just unpredictable enough, right? I don't know how many times he catches it, and I go, he's going to 2-power dribble, turn over his right shoulder, and use soft left-hand hook. He's going to do it every time, but that's when he hesitates. That's when the spin move stops, and it's a fadeaway, or he goes glass when he does. Like, he's just unpredictable enough, and he's just savvy enough that the wide body works, right? The shoulders and everything works. It's really fun to watch. Once he gets the ball in the post, he has entered into the territory of the athletes where you're like, well, I'm going to watch this, right? He catches the ball in the post. I know where my eyes are going to be until he passes it or shoots it. And that's really good for NC State's offense.
My concern is foul trouble for the bigs down low, is because we saw that in the last game, especially in overtime. Middlebrooks, Mo Diarra both going out of the game with foul trouble, and Burns was forced to play defense. But also we've seen teams flopping against DJ Burns and drawing fouls against him. So for me, it's just foul concerns at times with their bigs down low, feeding into what you're talking about, DJ Burns having to play more defense possibly as a result of that. The confidence for me.
I just want to add in, and Mo Diarra will, because the game is Central Time Zone 7 o'clock, and he's respecting Ramadan, he will not be able to eat for most of the game or drink, which when it comes to the foul trouble and everything, like tired legs, tired arms, the first things to go. Yeah.
Oh, he's managed it well so far. So you got to give him a ton of credit.
But a lot of the games, and this is, I give him all the respect in the world for being able to do this. I was a guy, like, if I didn't have a nice meal 3.5 hours before a game, followed up by some snacks, I don't know how I would react. But the games, he's traditionally been able to eat sometime in the first half. This one, I believe, with scheduled sunset, it'll be a little bit later.
My confidence when it comes to NC State, they've been there, done this. They've done this for 7 straight games. There's no team in the tournament that can say for 7 straight games over a 2-week stretch or less than 2-week stretch, have we been win or our season's over situation and have come out on top for 7 straight. They're not fazed by this situation. It doesn't matter who they're playing, and they figured it out at the right time. That's my confidence when it comes to NC State, is that they figured it out at the right time. They didn't figure it out in November, then everyone else kind of figured them out as the season's progressed. They know exactly what their roles are going into these games. They figured all those things out now, and they've been doing it. They're riding that wave. Their confidence has never been higher, and that's why my confidence in NC State's so high.
Next up, the last team to play. They have the nightcap on Friday, Duke. I'll open it up with a concern, and it's nothing new, right? I'm focusing in a bit, but I could go with the same thing I've been going with since November, which is Duke's edge and toughness. But I'm going to zero it in a little bit further and say Kyle Filipowski's ability to play bully ball. Kyle Filipowski is going to be 4 or 5 inches taller than every single person that guards him. Mouse in the house, right? That's what you yell when there is a smaller person guarding you and you're a post. You go down to the block, you yell mouse in the house, and the perimeter players go, all right, let's get him the ball. Filipowski should sound like a broken record. He should wear out the phrase. He should have to come up with like mouse in the house. What is it? Like in Goldmember for Austin Powers, where it's like smoking a pancake. Pipe in a waffle, whatever it is, and he keeps going on and on down the list. It's like mouse in the house, rat in the condo, Mickey Mouse in the shed. Like he should have to have different because he's saying it so much he wants to mix it up. Mouse in the house, big guy being guarded by a little guy. Houston is the best defensive team in the country, bar none. But they don't have any like size matters in basketball. Height matters in basketball. And if you're Duke, you need Filipowski to take advantage of it. I'm concerned with his ability to do that, not physically. I know he has the physical gifts to do it, but it does take a bit of a mindset. I need him to grit his teeth, right? I need him to growl a few times. I need him to be a junkyard dog down there. What are you concerned about for Duke?
My concern is still depth, because their depth in this tournament has not been tested yet because, again, no Caleb Foster. He's out with the stress fracture in his ankle. Once you get past their starting 5, what contributions are you getting from whether it's Jalen Blakes, Ryan Young, TJ Powers, Sean Stewart? You really don't know. There's not like Carolina has. They know when they go to the bench to get Seth Tremble or Jalen Withers or to Jalen Washington, they know exactly what they're getting from those guys. Generally, like, you know exactly what you're going to get. With Duke, you just don't know what you're going to get from their bench right now. And that's the big concern. And their bench, now, because of their own doing, hasn't been tested yet. They've blown out their 2 opponents, especially JMU. It hasn't been tested in the tournament, but it's going to get tested at some point here in the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8. That's my big concern for them going forward, especially if someone gets into foul trouble.
My confidence for Duke is Jared McCain's comfort in big moments. He hit 8 threes against JMU. Yes, they ended up destroying JMU, but he didn't know they were going to mollywop JMU when he started knocking down those threes, right? He just knew it was a second-round elimination, winner-go-home tournament game, and he started making the big shots immediately. So I don't want to discredit it and say, oh, they won by 30. Those shots weren't pressure-packed. He was ready to step up. If JMU wanted to keep pace, he was going to knock him down. So Jared McCain's comfort in big moments is the thing I'm most confident in for Duke, which is rare for a freshman.
My confidence when it comes to Duke right now is the guy that you just mentioned. It's Jared McCain, and it's his poise. That's the big thing. It's his poise. We saw it in games against Carolina. I know he struggled in the ACC tournament against NC State when he had the swollen eye or partially swollen eye. But we've seen him in games, like I said, the big moment doesn't faze him. And it seems like he relishes it and actually seeks it out and wants it. And I think that's a confidence for me going in, is that, yeah, he's never been in this situation before because he's a freshman, but he clearly is unfazed by all of it.